Hey there, my name is Alex. I am from Moscow, Russia, and today I wanted to talk in more detail about the differences between balanced and unbalanced cables and using them in your home studio setup. First, let's take a look at how an unbalanced cable is constructed. The two most common unbalanced cable types are the quarter-inch TS cables and the RCA cables. In terms of construction, they're almost identical. The connectors might look different, but what makes them similar is that both TS and RCA cables have two wires inside them. And this is easy to remember as the connectors have two parts. For a TS cable, they are the tip and the sleeve, with a line between them. This is why these cables are abbreviated to TS. It's the same with RCA, the tip in the middle and the sleeve around it. So one of these wires is the ground wire, or the zero wire, and the second one is the wire that actually carries the audio signal from whatever is producing it, be it an electric guitar, electric bass, a synthesizer, etc. And it's sometimes called the hot wire. In instrument cables, the hot wire is usually shielded to protect it from picking up unwanted background noise, such as humming at 50 or 60 Hz from the electrical current, or interference from fluorescent lighting, etc. Still, even when shielded, unbalanced instrument cables still do pick up unwanted noise, and the amount of noise picked up increases proportionately to the length of the cable. This is the reason why it's recommended to keep the unbalanced cables in your studio setup as short as possible and use balanced cables the rest of the way. So what's so special about balanced cables? Well, let's take a look at two representatives of the balanced cable world. First, we have an XLR cable, which is always balanced, and second, we have the quarter-inch TRS cable, which looks surprisingly similar to its unbalanced TS counterpart. So what's the difference? If you look closely, you will see that the TRS connector, and more obviously the XLR connector, has three parts instead of two. For the TRS cable, they're called tip, ring, and sleeve, hence the TRS abbreviation. As you might have already guessed, both the TRS and the XLR cables have three wires instead of two. One is the same ground wire, or the zero wire. The two others are called the hot wire and the cold wire, and both carry exact copies of the audio signal. The only difference is that the cold wire copy is inverted when it leaves its source and inverted back to its original state when it reaches its destination. Why? Well, that's the beauty of the balanced cable. While the two audio signals are traveling along the two wires, they pick up background noise, which affects them equally. But remember, the cold wire signal is inverted, and when it reaches its destination, it is inverted back. The background noise cancels itself out, while the original signal is doubled. So then the only thing you need to do is reduce the amplitude of the signal back to its original level and voila! You have the clean, unadulterated sound you are looking forward to. So wait a minute, you might say. If balanced cables are so fantastic, why do we need unbalanced cables at all? Why can't I hook up my guitar through a TRS cable and forget about humming once and for all? Well, you actually can, but it won't do you any good. The problem is that in order for a balanced cable to perform its magic, the sound source should have a balanced output, and the destination should have a balanced input. It's there that the signal is inverted and then inverted back again. The cable itself is just three wires, nothing else. And electric guitars, basses, synthesizers, and amps are usually of the unbalanced variety. So, to recap. Use balanced cables whenever possible to reduce unwanted noise. And when a particular connection doesn't support balanced cables, make sure that the unbalanced cables used are as short as possible, which is somewhere along 10 to 15 feet long. This will lessen background noise to a negligible minimum, and everything should be fine. I hope this information was as useful for you as it has been for me, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.